Hello, everybody.
We said at the same time, so that's gonna sound weird.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You're not gonna say hello, Alex, now?
I did. I said hello.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Did we
I
all
didn't hear
say it? Did all three of us say it at the exact same time?
you. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Did you not hear
Um,
me? Did you not hear me go, hello? Oh dear, that's not a good sign.
Welcome to the Rainy Days podcast, everyone. I'm
Hello.
Connor.
I'm
My
David.
name's Alex. Oh, I'm Alex. Oh.
So we'll be talking over each other the entire podcast.
Just shut up.
We do that a lot.
That's true. So how was your guys' week this week?
Pretty good.
I mean, we've been doing party chats throughout most of it, so...
That's true, but just to recap with the whole audience and whatnot, you know?
You can't complain.
No?
No.
Yeah, it's been
Quiet.
pretty decent. The highlight, which we're going to talk about this podcast today, because we didn't really think of a topic, was the Sony showcase for the PS5 stuff,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool. So this podcast will just be talking about all the stuff that we're interested in, what we're excited about, and just like ramble on about how great Spider-Man looks.
And
So-
also our hopes and dreams of what the console's going to offer.
Hopes and dreams.
Well, to be fair, you two be rambling on how great Spider-Man looks.
Yeah, and
I
then
just
you'll
wanna
be
say-
rambling about how great RE8 looks.
It's me and Connor's time to ramble. Alex has been
Yeah,
hogging
yeah.
the spotlight for a while.
Whoa, hold on.
Hey, when it comes to you and your Godzilla rats and Jurassic Park rats...
If we ever do a subject just on like those subjects, or then I will be rambling a lot. Which also the news of that Godzilla vs Kong has been delayed to 2021. So
May it be.
And then Alex rambles on about the reasons.
okay, right. I'll not talk about anything else about it for next.
Okay, fair enough.
Farewell.
Also, apologies to anyone who can hear Hoover going on in the background. It's just someone cleaning up, but
Just also, if you hear noise in the background, that's just the fan.
Oh, have you guys actually seen Evil Dead 1?
Yeah.
The original? So you've seen it in complete...
yeah, we talked about it. I think we watched it together, did we not?
I believe we did, but do you remember the bit where the girl just sits there, like Ash's girlfriend, where she sits there and keeps laughing?
Uh-huh.
Right? When I was watching that with my sister, well, with my family yesterday, when we were watching it, I went, Stephanie, finally, a movie that can perfectly represent how annoying you are. And she just looked at me and I was like, so you see how Ash treats this girl now? It's how I want to treat you when you just laugh once. And I'm upstairs. And then just cuts to him beating her with a little beam of wood. And I was like, that's what I feel. And my mum came into the same room saying, is that you laughing? And I was like, see, it's true. You sound like her. Stephanie was just like, you're making me feel anxious. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, you need to know.
Oh man, so yeah, when the PS5 thing started up, it was like showing all like previous titles. It was like, well, it showed GTA first, I believe, didn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Because I remember when it first came out, Rockstar, we were like, like another Rockstar game was gonna come out. We just started panicking, but no, it just showed GTA 5 again for the PS5, which I think is quite funny. But
I downloaded
yeah,
it
no,
and I thought it was going to be fun, but no.
No, yeah, that's what happens to with games. Like when you like watch like something like the Elder Scrolls or something, you're like, I'm gonna download Skyrim for the 15,000th time, and then when you get onto it after all the loading times, and then you're just like, eh.
You hear that the soundtrack, you're just like, yeah, I'm already getting PTSD from it all on ground.
And then your character slowly melts as the music plays, like you disappear. But yeah, should we just talk about Spider-Man right now?
Yes.
Yeah, you just get done.
Okay.
Yeah. First off, the music was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything looks great, so there's no need to really talk about that. Miles's new look is great. He looks good. I like his haircut. I like the suit.
Love the abilities.
The abilities look cool.
Hope his swinging's very like Spider-Verse.
I hope it's just like because we talked about this before, because since Miles is inexperienced, and like hopefully he's like more like whoa when he's like swinging and whatnot, and he's just going crazy. He's like trying to hang on to the web with dear life sometimes as he's swinging. As well, it's not an actual proper sequel. It's like a spin-off type series. So I don't think the game will be as long as Spider-Man for the PS4. I think it'll be shorter.
Yeah.
And it's also a different writer. So it is for this one. I think he did like a Black Panther comic or something.
Okay.
I don't know much about his whole resume, I guess, of everything he's done, but it's interesting. Hopefully it's a good story. I'm interested about the whole, like, the people that he's fighting against.
I remember,
because I want to say that,
like, seeing a comic about those kind of people, but I can't remember what they were called.
I want to say it's from Oscorp, and but the way the technology is, it's so
Advanced
weird
kind of
looking. Yeah, but I mean, like, Oscorp's done advanced shit before and whatnot.
They haven't done the, like, pixelating kind of stuff, though. Like, this is, like, nanotech kind of.
Well, I don't know. Like, I haven't read every single Spider-Man comic in the universe, so there probably is one where they're like, oh, we developed
But I doubt
things.
it's, like, around this, like, time era with Peter
Minecraft
Parker and all.
cubies. Well, I mean, it's a different spin on the Spider-Man universe. It's not like trying to be accurate to anything. So like it doesn't really matter like what's what. Because I mean, like if it was super accurate to the comics, or like if they were trying to be accurate to one of the comics, they would have Scorpion looking classic and whatnot, and Rhino looking in his classic stupid like mascot suit of a rhino.
And then Electro having his starfish head.
Yeah, but they did kind of hint at that as well at the game. Like when you would like collect items in the game, you'd see Spider-Man's old like classic suit.
Yeah.
And you'd see like the rubber of like Scorpion or Shocker's like outfit, like the yellow little lines, which is pretty cool. Next they showed which. Do you want to talk more about Spider-Man, or should we continue on?
The only thing I'll add to the Spider-Man thing is just that if anyone wants like a kind of scope of what the game's going to be like. If you have played the Infamous games, especially the Infamous Second Son, and the Last Light kind of DLC pack where you play as the female with the neon stuff, it's literally just going to be that for PS5. It's basically just like a wee treat of like a wee short kind of game to kick off the console. Just
because I said to the guys when we were watching the live stream together that like I said it's basically kind of going to be like Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 2.1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you play as Aqua and it's like a little tease of Kingdom Hearts 3. Obviously the Miles Morales game will be much longer than that, I assume. I don't think it'll be like 3 hours and like that's the game. But I think it will be, I don't know how long the game will be, but I expect it to be long enough to make people feel like, okay, now I only have to wait like a couple, not as long for the next game.
I think maybe the main story will be probably about 3 to 5 hours. And then side stuff will probably take up most of your time as well.
Maybe, yeah. As long as Screwball isn't back in it, it's all good to me.
Stay away. I don't want her.
But yeah, the next game that like showed up then was like Gran Turismo, and it was just so funny because when Spider-Man came out, we didn't expect it, and I was screaming my ass off, and then we were just so like, me and David especially were like incredibly hyped and whatnot, and then it was like Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, like Gran Turismo just felt like it wasn't even there when just before it was Spider-Man.
Yeah, we called that our advert break, just so we could digest what we just saw.
Oh.
But you know, I don't know. It was kind of good to just calm down. Like, all right, just this decent game. Well, like I don't know. I never played many of the Gran Turismo games. I think I played one for the PS2 way back when, and I had fun with that. But I never really. I'm not too big with racing games. Actually, there's one racing game that we saw in the PS5 showcase that we'll get to at another point in this podcast. Yeah, it looks wacky and a lot of fun. But next they showed was Ratchet and Clank, which I think looks fantastic. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game in my life. I was more of a Jack and Dexter boy myself, but I have the remake of the first game on my PS4 that I will play eventually at some point. But Alex, you know a lot about, well, you know more than me and David about Ratchet and Clank. Do you want to talk about how you felt about it?
At first I was wondering what it even was, just because the way they started it, but I love this series, and I'm really wondering like what's been going on, because now they have like dimensions and stuff in it, and it looks like Dr. Nefarious, which was the villain in the third one, he's won somehow. So I'm just like, what's going on? And then you obviously have the female longbacks, which was a complete shock.
Yeah, which the internet immediately got attached to on Twitter and other social media sites.
I do look forward to her to see what she does, and she has a wee hammer. And please, don't have it to where she's evil. Like
she has a robotic hand as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. She has a robotic hand.
I wonder if we can like stretch out and grab someone, like Doc Ock's arm. But did you want to talk more about it, or shall we continue on?
Let's see if there's anything else I missed. I do. Oh yeah. I wonder if because note the way there's no load times supposedly in the PS5.
Yeah, apparently.
Because note the way like they jump through different dimensions. Is that all just like automatically just there? Because if that's the case, that's insane.
I think like when they jump into dimensions, that's technically the loading time stuff. But like things are still happening as you're going through it, so maybe that's their way of like loading in the next level. So when you fall in, you're like, "What?" And then boom, next level. So it'll look seamless, but they're kind of loading in each level.
Like
which
what I can deem from it is like, you know, the way whenever they were testing the PS4 Spider-Man with the PS5's kind of like load times, and it was like 5 times faster. That probably is like the actual load time in Ratchet and Clank. Is it Ratchet and Clank, or what's the game called?
No, it's Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, give that two mixed up. But with that, it could be the loading time, like the loading screen. But it's just the fact that it's happening so fast. It just seems like part of the game.
The next game that was out then was like Project Atlanta or something, I think it was called. It was like, it looked very Dark Soulsy, that game. It was like Square Enix that did it.
That looks very interesting.
It looks interesting, yeah. I don't know much to say about it other than that.
Yeah,
so
like, they didn't really show off much.
Yeah, there was just a couple of games. Like there was what's one is it? Stray, the one with the cat. Yeah. He plays a cat.
Yeah. Which is very cool.
Which seems very interesting. And like, it reminds me of that. David, you've watched Love, Sex, and Robots on Netflix, right? Yeah. It just reminded me of that first episode where it's just like the cats took over the world and all that's left are like robots and cats, which is pretty funny. Yeah, but I'm interested to see what type of what the gameplay mechanics and all will be for that. If I get to be a cat and I get to hold a gun, I mean,
that'd be great.
That's pretty great. It reminds me of my friend as well from college who did his last animation was like if cats took over the world and they grew thumbs. So it made me think of that. So my expectations are just of that world. What other ones? There was the like.
There was Ghostwire.
There was Ghostwire. Ghostwire looks at first like I thought it was gonna be more like psychological stuff, horror like Silent Hill. I didn't think it was gonna be very action packed, but when they did show off the action packed stuff, it did make me quite excited for it, which looks cool. I like the whole hand gestures of like and just shooting all the people with like all this weird energy. Umbrella. Yeah, Slender Man with umbrella, like other weird like Japanese like horror looking characters, which look really cool. Because Japanese horror is like probably one of my favorite types of horror. The genre, they're the ones that freak me out the most.
Like the Japanese, they know how to creep you out.
Yeah, they know how to make things scary.
They make too many monsters.
Yeah, there's like so many like monsters and like yokai and everything.
Fun fact though, no one going off topic of live streams, but Netflix is actually bringing the original Grudge, I think.
To UK or
UK's Netflix, yeah. So because it's like it's actually Japanese, it's not like any like American or UK copy.
Excellent. I do like that.
But proceed.
So yeah, the racing game, which I think it's called Destruction All Stars, which made me think of kind of Twisted Metal, but not really in the same way. But it looks a lot of fun because it's basically just bumper cars, but with sticks, and like you just crash into each other and whatnot, and you seem to have abilities with your cars.
I think actually it's like it's not an ability on the car. I think it's an ability per pilot of the car, like the driver kind of. So say like if you have a bulky guy, he can make that car have like a tanky mode to it. But as a fact, you can jump out of that freaking car.
Yeah,
and you can
because
run.
like at first I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, and then when the characters were jumping out of the cars and running with those crazy like like hilarious run animations. I was like, I'm sold. Like,
then we saw
this looks a
like
lot of
people
fun.
on top of the car, like you can run
Yeah.
and dive on top of someone's car and start like just hanging off it, like because when we saw it we thought like, oh, this kind of looks like a good funny game, because just thought like cars smashing into each other is kind of satisfying, seeing some destruction, and then we just saw them start running around and we were like, squeeze me.
Yeah, it gave me like a kind of like a bit of a Gangs Beast feel to it as well. It
Yeah.
seems like that type of game where it's just like fun with friends and whatnot.
At first,
But
whenever like I started, I was like, oh, I thought it was just gonna be a racing game. The second I saw the cars crash, I was like, hang on, whoa, hang on.
they can do that. Cars can crash. But yeah, no, that game looks a lot of fun, and I don't think I'll get it whenever the PS5 immediately comes out.
Oh no.
But there hasn't been a release date for it anyway. But it's definitely a game I will get just to play with these guys if they got it, and we just mess about, have a good crack, and maybe update our channel with that content whenever we
Just
get
cut like
Whenever-
we just do the Fortnite one that we did where it just cuts to different views, and then you just see you just like, where's the trying to run away from Alex
No,
with like an
it'll just
actual
be
like,
like-
shredder
we'll just be like, where's David? And it's just like you on top of the car, like, but it.
just on top of yours, like, it is
It's like
me,
those like
Dio.
spy movies. It's like those spy movies where like they're underneath the car, like, and then they just get. It's like in that Rick and Morty episode. It's like the Titanic one where like the girl was obsessed with Titanic with Jeremy, or Jerry, and then they both get in the car and leave her, but she's like underneath the car and she's like, and then
yeah.
she just like lets go, and she just gets run over, and you're like, oh my god. And her spine's completely messed up. But anyway, there was also the Sackboy game, which is practically like Mario in a way. Like,
Yeah.
maybe think very Mario style. Like proper like Little Big Planet game that I played was probably just the first one. I think I played the second one a good bit of times. I have the third one on my PS4, which I haven't touched yet, but I did enjoy those games in the OG PS3 era.
They're
And it was,
goofy
yeah, they're just goofy, a lot of fun. I think it's because I like the narrator a lot, because I think the narrator is Stephen Fry for that game.
think so.
I hope to God it is now, because I love his voice. Because he's just like, what are you doing? It's like, big British man's telling me what to do. Like running around. But yeah, no, it looks alright. I don't think it's something that I would get, but it looks cool. But the one that I really liked that just came out of nowhere as well was like the Kenna Bridge of Spirits, the one that looked like Studio Laika did it, like the one that does all the stop motion stuff, and it had all those furry creatures.
Oh, the
Like
one
the
that was
wee
like
black-
what's his name? Something two strings.
Kubo and the Two Strings.
go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the Laika studio, like the ones that do all the stop, like
do you
crazy
remember
stop motion
studios?
movies.
I don't remember studios. That's probably
Yeah.
why I'd never get a contract deal with anyone. I get a
Wanna
phone
work
call.
with
They're like,
Pixar?
"Hey,
Who?
it's like, yeah, it's like, hey, you coming in to do voiceovers? Who are you? I don't work for a company. It's like Ozzy Osbourne.
You want to work in RTE2?
Who am I?
I guess so.
It's just Ozzy Osbourne who's like, who the fuck are you? Sharon!
Yeah, no, the game looks really cutesy with like the little chibi looking furry creatures, and it looks interesting. The combat looks pretty good too, and from some parts that they show them. I'd probably like to see more of it before I'd actually consider buying it.
Barnes?
But barring it, barring the bar, but no, yeah, that game looks that game piqued my interest. Watching that one, and then there was like the that romance one with the dinosaurs. Goodbye Volcano High. That's what it was.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's interesting.
Which
That was
for
so
me,
weird looking, but it's
yeah,
so interesting.
it's so weird looking, but like I'm interested for the story because I know it seems like that type of game, like Night in the Woods type story.
Yeah.
That looks great. Only I don't know if it's just gonna be like a murder mystery cult theme thing happen in that one.
It's probably just, as Connor said in the stream, it's just gonna be like a thing like moving on or something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like cause like they're in like high school, and it seems like their last years of high school from what the trailer showed, and then friendships will break apart, and then it'll be sad, and then there'll be an uplifting message at the end or something. Which I like those type of stories as long as they're not super cliche. That there's some sort of
You
twist to
gotta
it.
move on.
Move on,
Music
this
video.
viewer's getting closer and gonna explode and kill you all like it's meant to. What
So
dinosaur
there
has a
was-
fairy wing?
I'm trying to think what other ones they had.
I
that
don't know.
Before we go into the bigger ones.
Do you remember the one with the you eat a certain food and you become the food?
Oh yeah.
Was that? Oh shit! What was it called?
It was like the Brave Wilderness like style.
Yeah, it was something really weird, but like it reminded. We kept on making fun of the wilderness person. Like, well, it was like a walrus or something. Were they a walrus or?
I think
don't know
they
what
were, you know. So,
But like
or a bear. Or something.
we kept. What's the video? I'll actually watch the guy who's all stay brave, be wild.
Brave Wilderness. Well,
Brave Wilderness, yeah, that's
He's
it.
called Coyote. I know that's one of his. Was that his surname?
Okay.
I
don't know.
The game's called Bug Snacks.
Okay. Yeah, but it was. It seems like a super odd, weird game
Yeah.
that I'd probably give one of my younger cousins to,
Honestly,
and then he'd
though,
probably get trauma by getting chased by burger-shaped creatures in the night.
I'd never in my life give that to a child.
I think I would.
Because
I
I
would.
know they'd get more confused
No.
by the day. Like, if I went to them and was like, here you go, here's some strawberries, they'd be like, I'm alright, thanks. And I was like, you gotta eat something.
I would
That's
give
a
that
15.
to like one like one of my younger cousins or brothers and just be like, this is based on real life. Just screw with their head.
I just remembered the one game that got me really excited that we actually had a couple of laughs with was the little devil inside.
I literally
and it was
just
the
thought
one-
of that there now as well.
Yeah, and it was just the scene where like it seems like the game, like this old man gave you like these type of contracts or whatnot that you have to do, or like you're going on these adventures for him. And he seems, I think like the premise might be like that he's like this old adventurer and he's finished doing it now, but he was searching for something that he couldn't find, and you probably have to go out and find it. But there's like some great like scenes where it shows your character fighting to the death with these creatures, and then it just transitions to the old man in the toilet just taking a shit. Just like
And then like he's like freezing like in the cold, and then just a man really warm in a bed.
yeah, in the bed.
Like I get serious. I get like very serious series of unfortunate events vibes from it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really seems like that from the style.
That's definitely one
Uh,
game I'm definitely getting, just because it seems
Yeah.
so bizarre but so welcome, just for the sheer humor, and the music's quite like fun as well to me. I like
yeah,
the
the
music.
music's very like great. I really like. It seems like very Breath of the Wildish as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like the which I freaking love that game. So I'll happily take that there. So they showed off other games that that were kind of, well, for me they weren't really like Hitman. They showed another Hitman, which I've never played a Hitman game before.
I'm personally not much of a Hitman fan. I like
Yeah.
the movie. You know, it was alright.
did.
Just because you
Yeah.
know, whenever you get a movie about a game, you never really get a successful one. It's like, don't even get me started when people tried to make Halo, because that's where I could rant. But Hitman, they actually, you know, pretty well made. So
I mean, the story is basically him just trying to assassinate a guy. It's
yeah,
not rocket
exactly.
science.
Just shave a guy and say, right, go assassinate. There you go.
Then
Wait,
there
here's
was
a
that
barcode.
one. There was that one game as well that reminded that, which is actually David, the Dishonored developers actually made that game, which was
Oh,
Deathloop, the
yeah.
one where you had to because we were like, this is a lot like Dishonored when we were watching it.
I actually felt like it
And,
was the developers of Dishonored, but I didn't want to say just in case I was wrong. Because I was just like,
Yeah.
when I saw it teleporting on the actual like animations, I was like, this is very Dishonored look.
And I was like, I know that ragdoll from anywhere. But it does look a lot of fun. I do like the premise of games where, well, at times I like the premise of games whenever like it's if you make a mistake you have to go the whole way back and start over from scratch. But I don't think that they're going to be too harsh with it. I think it's just going to be, I don't think if you were in like level, let's say like level 4 of the game and you died, I don't think it would take you back to level 1. I think you'll just start at the very beginning of level 4.
You see,
or
I don't,
or that level
I don't
segment.
see it that way. I think they're going to be ballsy enough to just be like, right, there's no checkpoints. You have to get from A to B, one swoop. You have to remember every single location. And if you die once, you're right back to the beginning, and you have to do it all over again. That's literally what I'm pulling from. Because in the trailer, it literally shows him get to a certain point, and he wakes up right back at the beach. So I was like, I really think that there's no checkpoints, there's no different levels. I think it's just you literally go here and have to get to the main baddie guy. And then on top of all that, not just do you have to remember surviving from an AI, you have to remember to survive from another player who hunts you down throughout all that.
Yeah, I think though for that there might be like a mode for that, or it might be like kind of like how Dark Souls, like maybe how someone can just join in your game randomly, which if that's the case, that could be probably very annoying. But I don't think I don't think they would do. I think that would just be like a mode thing, kind of dude, for friends, which is like, hey, I want to kill you now. I'm gonna play as the killer and kill you.
Like, see if I saw you get the game, I'd probably buy it just to keep hunting you.
Thanks, dude.
You're welcome.
You strategically killing all these people, knowing everything to do, and then the moment I'm about to kill the last guy, I just look up in the windows and you're just with a sniper rifle looking down at me like, hello.
I'm just like, hello, chum.
You'll be fine, baby doll.
I've no interest in it. It doesn't seem my type.
No,
like,
yeah, fair enough.
It's good, like oh, you're going after multiple targets. I think in one mission, which is like, oh, that's kind of serious. But like the fact, like, there's one person chasing after you. It's just like, can you just stop?
So, let's talk about a game then that you do like, Alex. Well, the series that you like at least. It's probably not going to be what you think about, but Demon Souls. You want to talk about that?
I personally, for the original Demon Souls, I never touched it because, from what I've seen, it's just a mess. But now that they're remaking it and reimagining it, and obviously, hopefully improving the controls and stuff,
oh yeah, definitely would.
I am definitely going to pick it up since I love the Souls series. Played all of them, and
I tried to play them. I really tried.
Oh, Dark Souls 1 is still my favorite.
Yeah, like I can't remember. I think I beat like two bosses in Dark Souls, like two big bosses in Dark Souls 1, and then I kind of just stopped playing it for a while. I didn't even beat the first boss of freaking Bloodborne, and it's like the easiest boss.
Can't believe you, man.
What?
Can't believe you.
Well, I'm sorry.
You gotta get good, Connor.
I know. You see, you say that to me, and then whenever we're playing fighting games, I'm like, you gotta get good, and you're like, it's impossible.
You put us in a corner and have your way.
That's different.
Sure.
Also, very out of context that conversation get wrong, and I could be blamed as a big villain.
No.
But let's talk, Alex. Let's talk about a series that we both really love, which is Resident Evil. Resident Evil 8 Village. The game looks incredibly crazy, and I'm very excited for it. The developer said that it's going to be action heavy, but also more horror elements to it too. And the thing, because I watched that trailer like 60 gazillion times, and like the first line of it is like this shit. What was the first line? It was like the man's story comes to a close or whatever, or something like that. And I'm like, are they talking about Ethan or are they talking about Chris?
I think it's Ethan.
Okay. Because we've discussed it where like Chris is like the antagonist because of like what he does in the freaking end of the trailer where he just shoots the shit out of Maya.
Which, it's a bit dark for me to say. It's more funny than it is like shock.
Yeah, and like because like the shock factor made me like nervously laugh at some points. I was just like, oh, okay.
But also, Chris is beautifully chunk. I love that.
Yeah, this is definitely the best redesign of Chris since like Resident Evil 5, I think. And well, like he looked the same in 6 as well a bit, but like yeah, I really like this look for Chris because he looked a bit weird in 7. But here he looks very like I'm done with everything. Yeah, no, he's fought too much. He felt too little. Poor boy.
He's had enough of this.
Yeah, the life of Logan.
Yeah,
but he still has
needs...
time.
Oh, and also, weirdly enough, there's werewolves or something that looks like a werewolf.
Werewolves and vampires. It seems like anyway. Well, I assume they're vampires because they just seem very vampire, like the women in it. And I don't know. For me, I think it's gonna be like this weird like territory shit. between werewolves and vampires in this village. Someone did a very funny meme of it where it was like Resident Evil 8 Village, and it was basically Van Helsing screenshots, and I was like, this is very, very true. But the game, I'm super excited for it. I'm very interested in the old man character of it, because he seems very like paranoid about everything. Well, it seems like he freaking gets killed off by like some sort of creature, which I think is a werewolf.
You see him?
What were you gonna say, Alex?
Because I think you see him like sticking the gun under the door.
You see him stick the gun out the door in one of the scenes. I don't know if that's at the very beginning of the game though, where like you and Maya get there and he's like, "What the hell are you people doing here?" And you're just like, "Oh, we're just here to chill." Because I'm very excited. Because like with Resident Evil 7, like the atmosphere at the very beginning of that game is so scary. Like because when you go to the house and everything, and then you're sneaking around the house, and then when you meet the family and they're just like rotten and gross. So I'm very excited to like go into the village and try and like look, because I feel like when you go into the village, it'll be like those type of things in the movies, like in horror movies especially, when like you're walking in the village and whatnot, and you look around and then people will be like closing their doors on you and whatnot, and they'll be like looking away at you.
So like Outlast 2?
Yeah, kind of. But like, I don't know, I'm very excited for the whole like premise of the story, and I'm just excited that it's another sequel rather than a remake, which I enjoyed the remakes, I love them, but I'm kind of burnt out from them from a bit now. So I'm very excited to see where Ethan and Chris's stories go, and maybe some more Easter eggs, maybe we'll get like Rebecca Chambers or something, I don't know, or something random, Leon, anything?
Don't know.
I mean, I think I'm being a bit too cheeky asking all that stuff, considering we got Chris back, and he seems to be in more of a major role this time round than he was in 7. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Resident Evil. Do you want to say anything else, Alex, before we move on?
Well, if there's one little hope I would like in this one is that Chris suplexes one of the werewolves. I want to see that so badly.
The best I can see him doing is just punching it. But it'd be funny if he punched it and the werewolf just didn't react and he was just like, shit. Just like ran away.
Because if there is a moment where you do shoot Chris, I will just not shoot. And also, if you're hearing a noise in the background, there's something going on downstairs. Oh no.
Continue.
Oh, okay.
It's like a transformer outside.
I hope there's like an alternate end where you, like if you can't shoot Chris or you do not, I just won't shoot him.
Actually, now that you said that, I kind of hope they do have like alternate endings, like how they did with the original games, because there wasn't really an alternate ending for 7. But if they have this story planned out and they want it to go the way it should be going, then that's fine as long as the story's good. But if they have alternate paths to the story that you can change near the end, I would think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Like if Ethan became a werewolf and he was stuck in the village or something, and then you had to play as Chris and put him down. That'd be actually pretty sad too, actually.
Yeah, don't make me manage that.
Yeah, because it's just like Chris having to deal with more shit, like I couldn't save this person, now I have to kill him. I had to kill his wife, now I have to kill him.
He would, if he found out that Ethan was changed to a werewolf, he'd literally be sitting there with shock and going, shame.
Sorry, Ethan.
Just
I mean, Ethan as a character, I don't care at all.
Really?
No, like he's just that guy. That's like, I must save my wife, and it's like, okay, you went through all this, and now she's dead. It's like, oh, well, that's that's a damn shame, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing too. Like, at the same time, like I feel like that there's like a, because obviously they did that for the trailer for a big like, what the fuck, Chris? Why would you do that? But I think there's more of a reason to that, and maybe that might not actually. I'm thinking that it might actually not be Mia, but it could be Mia, because they said that this series, it's going to be darker, I think they said as well, like this game, but my mind went blank. I like Ethan, I don't know, like he's a very determined boy, he went through a ton of shit to just get his girl back, which I can appreciate.
He's getting his arm sucked off by a vampire.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Could you imagine vampires are actually like snake people, and like they could like dislocate their
that
jaw
would be
around
pretty
your hand
freaking cool. I don't know, like snake people. I think would like because we talked about this before in the last podcast, right? But snake vampires, we did, didn't we? I mentioned that, right?
I think.
We were talking about like vampires or something, and I said snake vampires where they sniff you, and like you would see their tongue sniffing.
Oh yeah, they would like smell.
I'm pretty
with their
sure
tongue,
I did
yeah.
that. Yeah. God, Capcom, I hope they're snake vampires.
Yes, and there's a moment where you like try to help out different people in the village and save them or whatever, something like that.
Like I wonder if they'll do that as well, because I just want like weird and crazy like creatures again, because like I want a fucking big snake to come after me. I want a fucking shark. Well, not the shark was okay, but I don't know, like. Well, Resident Evil 7 had weird ones as well, like the mother who was basically like this fly thing, and she was super, super gross, and you had to shoot her in the ass.
I know she was a spider.
Oh, was she a spider? I thought she was like some sort of
It's a seven.
She was,
thing. Yeah, okay.
She had like long arms and stuff. But how, like, this was a question to like all of us, because from what I've seen, people are not very liking the fact there's werewolves in it. But to me, the Resident Evil as a whole, with all the different creatures and stuff in it, none of it made sense. Like, you have giant snakes, giant spiders.
You had a troll, remember, in one of the games, like a huge troll.
A couple.
Was that in 7? No, it's not 7, 6.
That was
wasn't
in
it?
4. It was in 4. And
4?
remember the big...
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. And the wolf helps you, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then
that fight? Yeah.
in 6,
Good boy.
there was a T-Rex, and then there was a Sabertooth. In 5, there was like these like the Ouroboros things, like little like slimy boys.
Yeah, they were pretty gross.
But what else?
You also had turtle things.
I'm pretty.
I
think
one of them.
I think in RE0 there was like I can't remember what creature it was, but it was in the train segment of the game. I've never played RE0, but I think I seen a screenshot of it. I think it was like another snake or spider or beetle type thing. It was some sort of insect, I think. A snake's not an insect, but
the plant monster, like this Gerber turns into like a plant monster, and then you have Mr. X and Nemesis themselves, which are they like? Excuse me, what?
Well, you see, they make sense because they're just like just pieces and parts of like creatures and like people and whatnot. That's really enough that makes sense to me. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's not like the Resident Evil series doesn't explain itself, because there's a ton of lore and whatnot for those games, and like they explain everything about it. But that doesn't mean that the things that are shown are not weird, because they are. They're very weird. The hunters are freaking ugly pieces.
What are the hunters actually?
They're just another like thing that Umbrella just created. Like they're just more creatures of that. Just Umbrella being weird. So
actually,
yeah,
before we move on,
Oh?
there was a game we all missed out on talking about, Solar Ash.
What was Solar Ash?
It's the one that was very much like Journey.
Was that the one that had like?
Yeah, that one looked really cool.
So for anyone that doesn't know, it literally feels like if you know the game Journey, it just feels like that, except a bit of Doctor Strange with the whole like the labyrinth stairs and like everything's kind of distorted and whatnot. Like if you've ever played Control, it's kind of like Control and Journey put into one.
Okay, I'm looking up it now, and it's like the developers for it are called Heart Machine. They made a game called Hyper Life Drifter that was highly acclaimed indie game, which I've not heard about at all. So I kind of want to check that out. But no, yeah, that game looked really, really cool. I love the style of it, the way the character design looked, the weird like creature that kills you. She looked like this goddess thing, and then she just went just went through you, and you're like, oh yeah. But okay, the next one was the Capcom game that looked like Death Stranding a lot, with the little girl and the cat robot.
That was very weird.
Pragmata, that's what it was, right? Something
so,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, it was very, very weird. I was expecting just to see is it Norman Reedus? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to pop his head out of the helmet and be like, here I am again.
Because the suit of armor looked very Death Stranding, and then the blonde girl looked very Resident Evil 7. So when I saw it too, I was like, wait, what are you doing?
Actually, now that you said that, she reminds me of Shirley from RE2, like the little girl.
She reminds me of Newt from Aliens.
Yeah, she's very Newt as well from Aliens.
If she starts going up to saying mostly, then yeah, she is new.
I wonder if it'll be the type of game where like you don't see the protagonist's helmet, like face. He's just wearing the helmet the entire time. He's like a Master Chief in a way. Yeah. Yeah. No, that game was very weird. It was very interesting. I kind of want to see more of it. Oh, well, they will show more.
Yeah.
But the last one, which that they showed off, which I think was the last one, that I wasn't really very hyped upon because I didn't really care about the series, which a lot of people might hate me for. But it was Horizon Zero or Horizon Forbidden West, as the next one's called.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Forbidden? No, pardon me. Forbidden West? I didn't realize it was called Forbidden West. I just thought it was Horizon Zero. Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says here. I'm just looking at it now just to make sure. I was like,
I thought it was just Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Nah, well, you can call it that.
For me, I haven't played the first one, but I do want to get it because it does look very fun. I mean, you get to control giant T-Rex robots. Like, excuse me, I know that.
Well, thing is though, like, I have played the game out of all of us, and when you say there, Alex, that you want to control them, you don't really control them, which is shitty.
Well, you bring them to your side. That's good enough.
True, but only for a limited amount of time, which is still kind of, you know. It's not the best. Like, fair enough, if you're okay with it, then by all means, carry on. But like,
sometimes
for me,
you can't have it can't be too fun.
I mean, like in the second game, they could have increased it where you can actually ride the T-Rex one. You never know. They might have like went, just fuck it, just go crazy. But I have enjoyed them. They're really good games.
Sorry, I keep freaking cutting in trying to talk as you guys are talking. But like, you have Ark, like, and you can control the beasts there and take all of them, and you can have your own weird dinosaur creature beast.
Alex wants every dinosaur.
I want a dinosaur.
I want dinosaurs on Resident Evil, and you can control them.
I want like some sort of dinosaur in Resident Evil 8 that whenever you leap on it, the Jurassic Park theme plays.
I want for Capcom to make is a Dino Crisis remake because I've never played the first one before.
Please. Please. I know.
The way you're saying please is if I worked there and I had the option to make it true or not.
Like,
Connor, please.
I know people can't see it, but I have like a Luigi profile picture, like a balloon one. His eyes are so buckeye. It's just like, please. I need that.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool remake. Because I know like a lot of people want it. It's just Capcom are just like, whatever. We're working on other stuff.
Let's work on another Street Fighter.
Well, I like Street Fighter, so I can't really complain.
I don't mind a bit.
So, have we talked about the games that we were kind of just interested the most in when it comes to all this, or was there one that I missed that you guys were thinking about?
Not really. I think we've covered a good chunk of them. All that's on my mind now is just talking about like what the PS5 is going to have to offer.
The specs, the quality, the taste, the feel.
Well, I don't lick my consoles, but I mean, I'll give it a shot.
I don't know, you could do.
Don't do it.
It's just like now
I'm a lonely man.
To turn on the PS5, you need like a DNA test.
To be fair, there probably is one guy out there who like is in love with his console and has married it or something.
If
people that do that with
there's
cars.
a guy who falls in love with his fucking car, there's a guy who falls in love with his console.
There's a woman who married her house.
True.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. It just makes me think of Monster House, the gender bend version.
Oh. Anyway, what should we just talk about? What we're most interested in, like,
just what we hope, really. Because we've got the actual spec list, and we know that the HD camera is going to be good, better for streaming purposes. They have said that. I'm hoping that when it comes to actual streaming, like we have discussed this on a party chat before, that we hope that we can actually go when it says like when you go into settings and it says broadcast settings and whatnot. If you go in advanced options, you can actually customize what your like actual webcam box would have, like a layout for the box, a layout for chat, pop-ups, like anything you can do on the PC you can do on the console. I mean, this PS5 is going to be a thick fucker, so it better be one hell of a sandwich that you can actually do stuff in and not just be like it's just big for show.
Yeah, because the editing system on the PS4 was like very, very limited.
Yeah, it's literally just
for
either
stuff.
face or text box. That's it.
Yeah. The thing that I'm worried about when it comes to streaming service, like even though like the streaming service might look great and they might give us all these layouts and whatnot, I'm afraid of like the broadcasting of what they will show and what not show, because with the PS4, like there's some games that you'll play, and if you went to go stream it, it would be like, can't show this in the broadcast because it's
copyright
like,
and all that.
Cutscene, copyright and whatnot.
Yeah, I learned the hard way.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like Sonic Forces has that for every single cutscene.
What?
And they made it seem like the cutscenes were so important.
I never. What? Okay.
Because I remember when I was watching Game Grumps play it, and it would just show up the thing like, boom, this is a cutscene that can't be shown or whatever. That's paused. It's like they were proud that these cutscenes were like fantastic and whatnot.
There is one big shame though, when it comes
What's
to like, you know the way you have the HD60, right? I could be completely wrong on this, but it's just as far as I know, that I don't know if you'll be able to use that to capture PS5 gameplay.
That's true.
Because of the fact that there's a 4K drive. That's the only thing that crosses my mind. So just for anyone that sees this in the future, if you do plan to start buying a capture card, you're going to have to go for something that supports 4K. Especially when it comes to just for the newer gen consoles. If you're going for PS4 and like downwards, you're fine. Just any capture card will do, as long as it's not the HD60. Stay away from the one I got, but just go for, you know, anything from the HD60S onward. But then if you want to go for PS5 and a new Xbox, you're going to have something with 4K support.
Well, I believe, like, even though it has the 4K support makes a lot of sense and whatnot, but I believe as well, like, because with the HD60S, you can change the support to make it like other. So if I put it to other, maybe, because even if I was doing PC games, because some PC games like would have 4K specs and whatnot.
Wait, wait. I just realized, because my Xbox I have right now, the one I had to rebuy, that has 4K support, right? And then when I turned that on and it connected to my TV, it gave me the option to turn on 4K support, so you will be fine.
Oh, okay.
Because so say whenever you and Alex get the PS5, you don't have a 4K TV, so it won't have the 4K thing. And then if you ever do get a 4K TV down the line, then it will say, okay, you have a TV, so I'm going to give you the full support, and then you'll have that extra little detail. Myself, when I've noticed the difference in quality, I notice it and I love it personally, but I wouldn't be the type of person to urge people to be like, you have to have a 4K thing, you need to see it in all of its glory, because it's just the fact it looks a bit sharper in detail, but like I notice more of a sound quality difference than a visual quality. That's just me anyway.
Yeah, like that thing doesn't really bother me as much. Like as long as the game plays, as the game plays, and if it runs well, then that's fine by me. But yeah, no, like I too would notice the differences of like, especially like with frame rate and everything and whatnot. Because I've been recently playing a lot more PC games this like year and a half. No, what has it been, a year and a half? No, it hasn't been. It's been like mostly.
No, you got that.
It's not even been a year.
Christmas.
I got that on Christmas. Yeah, so it's been like just a couple of months. But
I mean, it's been since January till now. If that's the case.
Yeah, but that's not a year though.
No, it's all like it's pretty much halfway through.
Yeah, well,
close to it. Anyway.
But like, yeah, no, I've definitely noticed a lot of things when it comes to like if I go on my PS4 and then I go to my PC and over my laptop and it's like, wow, the frame rate is much more better and it runs faster and whatnot. Which like even when I do go back to my PS4, it doesn't really bug me a lot. It doesn't make me go, oh, I don't want to buy more consoles. I just want PC now. Which I don't know if I will do in the long run. Maybe I might, but I'm definitely going to get the PS5 when it comes out. Hands down.
I am definitely waiting just for a Spider-Man exclusive. Just because I regret not getting the Pro version when I could have. But the thing is, that's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to anything. When it comes everything to do with consoles, is like when it comes to the Switch. I don't regret going for the Diablo Switch. I love it. But when I saw Animal Crossing, I saw these other ones. When I see them bringing in colored versions, I'm like, I kind of like color. But then when I saw like the PS4 Pro God of War edition, I was like, that looks nice. And I saw Spider-Man, I was like, it's kind of simple, but it's nice. And then when you see Last of Us, Part 2, it was like, you know, I really like that because it's just a detail. But I wish I was one of those people that had enough money that could just buy these goddamn things and have it sit on their shelf and never be used. Because when I go on Instagram and I see a guy go, look at my gaming room, I'm like, you have like 7 PS4 Pros and you're using the basic original. What is the point buying it? Do you just go to a shop and ask for the box and not the console? Because if so, it's still stupid. Like,
well, like it's just like, I don't know, they're just collectors with this type of thing. Like, there's people who just collect.
Just tell me what job you
consoles.
have. I'll try it. if it pays enough to get a PS4 Pro console edition, fucking hit me up, man.
I could just imagine having just like a normal job at like some sort of like part-time like little general shop.
Or they work
and,
a
like,
game and they just get a discount. Like, yeah, 2p off.
But yeah, I kind of hate that thing too that you were saying about like how companies do this thing where it's like, oh, because I remember when I got the DS Lite and I was like, oh, I finally got a DS Lite after everyone else had a DS Lite. I was like, I finally got it, this is great. And then Nintendo was like, but free DS, and I was like, motherfucker. That's like, you asshole. And then I couldn't play the games that I wanted to play on it because they were all 3DS titles. And I was like, no. But then I eventually got a 3DS, and then the Switch came out, and I got the Switch now. Like, whatever.
See, it's like, one thing as well I hate about, because like, with us, if we go for the PS5, it'll be like, I'm excited for it either way. If they come out with the PS5 and they say, right, PS5 original version, the one that we've all seen in live streams, bit of a Spider-Man, like, you know, a completely new design looking like Spider-Man and all, just a spray paint cover, I'll happily get it.
Spider-Man,
you know. But then if they go and they're like, all right, now we're going to release a Slim and a Pro, and this is going to have that, because literally the only difference is, like, I have a 4K TV. But the fact is, it's fucking damaged. Like, it has a huge ass, brown ass, dirty ass skid mark up the whole side of the screen when it hits a white screen. I'm like, bro, how? No one touched you. I've never. The only time I actually touched the TV was when you were with me, Connor, and I just set it up. Yeah. That was it. And I'm like, no one has ever bent the screen or anything. So I'm never going to go back to a curved TV after that, because it's like, you know, you don't want to happen it twice. So I'm going to go for a flat TV next time. Probably go for 4K again because I enjoy it. And I want to go for another smart TV because they're pretty handy. But when it comes to an 8K TV, if you're going to give it to me cheap or for free, okay. But I'm not paying a full retail price, because that's going to be like fucking, like, more than what my body is worth anyway. You know, I can't exactly sell this on the street for like a few nights and earn amount of TV. I won't lie though, I was seeing these things. Don't ask how I've seen them, but I've seen them. And it was of these strippers, and they were like showing off all this money that they got from just one Friday night. And this is during quarantine. These women literally filled a bath with it and swam. And it was all $20 bills. I couldn't get over. I was like, I want that. Because this pays for a lot of shit I want.
You reminded me of a video I saw on Twitter, and it was just this guy with like this piggy bank, and it was like one of those like satisfying videos, but it was more satisfying for me because of the outcome of it at the end. And like, he smashed the piggy bank thing with a hammer, and it was just so many, like, I think it was like $100 bills or whatnot, just in there, and there was just so much of it, and I was just like, it could have been, to be fair, it could have been Monopoly money, and I just could have been stupid, but
hey, it still gave you that satisfaction.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god, which makes me want to save more, which I do have a somewhat of a piggy bank up in my wardrobe that has like 2p's and some pound coins in there on the rare occasion.
Like, I know I have the money for the PS5. I know I have it because the price wise of the PS5 is gonna maximum is gonna be 500. I definitely don't see them going any higher than that. If they go to 600, that's ridiculous. Like, that is way too much.
At the same time, like, if they show out more of the specs and everything, and if they show more of what the console can handle, and if it is like 600, I could understand that, because that's like the price.
Fair.
The price of this gaming laptop I had was $550, that was like the cheap version of it, and I think originally the price is like 800 or something for this laptop.
Well, the thing is though, with your laptop, that has like, there's like so much more when it comes to the laptop compared to a console.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like when I see, like when you think of the Switch, for example, that thing is pretty cheap, right? Well, it's the cheapest console you can get, but it literally is pretty fucking good. Like it's not,
the Switch is fantastic.
God tier, but like for something so small and so cheap, it has a bunch of value. Like compared to it's on par with my Xbox and my PS4 in my opinion. Like because when I play the Xbox, like right, great, you have 4K, whatever, you have some good games, and then I see Sony, and I'm just like, great, some good games, and I see the Switch, I'm just like, you are literally on their level. But the fact is, I can just pick you up and go take a poo and play.
You know what the thing is too, like it's just, you know, because I remember when I first got the Switch, and then I think the first game I got was Breath of the Wild, and just like being able to like carry that, not even looking at it on the big TV, just playing it on the small screen, and just like run about in such a big world like that, and like having to not deal with any like frame drops or anything.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
The only game that destroyed the Switch was My Hero.
Oh yeah, with
the blue fire dude. I can't remember his name.
Dabby.
Dabby. If you want to have a living Switch, never fight him, because the second he just lifts one finger and a little flick of fire comes out, your Switch is just gonna cry.
Which is funny because the Switch also handled Breath of the Wild, so it's like, is there more detail in
exactly,
Dabby's flames than Breath of the Wild?
I don't. Maybe it's because of the style of Breath of the Wild that there's like less. I want to say there's less textures, but I highly doubt that's the case. I think there's like a ton more textures in that game than.
I gotta say,
My Hero.
I really badly hit the cable to my mic there.
It's okay.
There's Mortal Kombat. That was on the Switch, and it like really did well. Like,
yeah, it looks good.
Except it does like crash quite a bit. I think they fixed that. I'm not too sure, but I know on release it was like very laggy and like the game would just crash, which is understandable though. Because I mean, that's like almost human faces on a Switch.
Like
they're
the engine
pushing
for that
the
game's
limits on the Switch.
Yeah, the engine for that game's crazy. So it is for Mortal Kombat. It's just as crazy as like the Ori engine. When it comes to, like, I think the Ori engine, the best look for the Ori engine is still Devil May Cry 5 for me. Like, yes. I really like. I love, like, as much as Jill and all looks great in Ori 3 and Claire and Leon. There's some parts of it that look a little bit weird to me. But like with Devil May Cry 5, it's just like these look like real people. like it looks mad, like their facial reactions and everything. Like it's crazy. Still need to play that game.
The only other thing I can think of when it comes to PS5, like the only way it would cost a lot of money, is if they obviously added, like, you know the way they said they had like the PS5 with the disc and then the one without disc where it's all digital.
The digital one. Yeah.
I hope they don't, but a part of me really feels like they're going to be ballsy enough to be like, alright, you get with the PS5 with the disc slot, you'll have the control in the PS5. But if you want to go digital, you get the headset, you get the camera, you get the two controllers with the charging dock, you get the remote. I'm like, bro, you gotta calm down, because you're taking off £20 for a disc drive, but you're going to add another 100 just for the other shit. You gotta simmer down.
I highly doubt they will do this, but I can see this happening in like a bad freaking ending type scenario, where like if you bought like the non-digital version of the console, they'd be like, okay, well you don't get these exclusive digital games that you can buy. And
like, they better not do that. Because I don't believe that the Xbox did that when they went all digital. Because this is the thing. Went to go when I was gonna, because my original Xbox, when that thing just completely gave itself a lobotomy. And then I was like, right, I need to go. I just imagine it sitting there like one day when it sees me on a PS4, like, my baby! Oh! Just hits this like the hammer into it, so it just drops everything. I'm like, why is that noise? But then I went into Argos and I was like, right, I saved up all the money. I'm gonna get myself a new Xbox. I'm so excited. I went in, and then I was looking them up, and I was like, okay, Xbox. I was gonna go for the X, but I was like, I was really looking into the details, like what's better. People keep saying that the Xbox One X is better. That's the most superior console. Fair enough, but I mean, there's literally like a very small difference between the S and the X. Like, probably just because the X is like what got water cooling, and that's it really. But then with the actual or not PS, the Xbox One X or S, when I went and looked that up, I just saw there was the one with disc and one without disc, like digital edition. And when I was looking at them, I was really confused. Like, when did they take away the DVD player? When did they? Why would you do that? What's the point? Like, there's probably a kid out there that has like 50 Xbox games, and then he gets a digital edition, and he's like, "Where's the DVD player?" You know what I mean? And then the parents probably buy it for him, and they don't even have a clue what the hell is going on. And they're like, "Well, I'm pretty sure your game console should have a disc drive." And then he's like, "Well, I can't find it." So when I can't find, like, whenever I was listening to it, I was like, "This is crazy." And then I went up to the till, and then I asked them about it, and they said, "Oh no, yeah, you can just have that." Got all the insurance and stuff. But I've never come across like a digital exclusive title, and I hope that never happens, because that's gonna be stupid. But one thing I will say as well, that I hope this podcast goes big, because I want people, I can't stress this enough, when they release a limited edition console exclusive, don't be that person that goes to buy the console and then sell the game. Alright? Because I went to Argos and they told me this, that when the PS4 Spider-Man game console edition came out, people got the PS4 Pro Spider-Man edition, got the console, opened it up on the spot, took the game out, and sold it back to Argos. And they were so confused at what the hell was going on. They were like, what are you doing? And some people even just took out the game and left it. Some people apparently bought that just for the game and left the console. And I was like, what are you doing?
Let's keep the cover.
Clever.
Like, if I sat there at a till at Argos and someone just went to me and was like, PS4 Pro Spider-Man edition, I'd be like, "Oh, you lucky bugger." And then I'd get everything set up, and if he came back to me and was like, "Right, I want the game, I don't want the console though," I would be so confused. I'd look at every worker and they'd be like, "Well, he paid for it, we can't give him a refund." I'd be like, okay. And if they said like, "You're gonna have to throw that in the bin," I would say, "Hey mum, could you go around the back of Argos for a and she would just skid up around, and I was like, go, just tapping the back of the car. Just fucking taking the PS4 away. And I'm sitting there going like, "Yeah, baby!"
I think the reason why people do that, and it's just because like they already have a console, so they don't really want the console version. They just want the disc, the cover of the game.
I wonder though, did they actually think that they were
dumb.
getting like a bonus piece of the game? Like, did they actually think like when you?
Definitely not.
Because like if someone actually sat there and was like, "Oh, if you get the console edition, you're probably gonna get a really cool skin," and then they don't realize they paid like what, £400 for the game. Meanwhile, there's me and you that just paid £45 for it. Actually, no. How much did we pay on? Because we got digital. How much did we?
I
pay?
paid like 60, because I got the £64 or so for the DLC with it as well.
Yeah, it was like a season pass and all. I think we got the same one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was about 60.
You get the season pass, you got the game itself, and then you got like a theme for the game as well.
Yeah, you got a theme,
Yeah.
and then you got avatar, and then you got pardon me, and then you got the skins and all that. Yeah, I gotta admit though, it's a hard one to say, because design wise, I do really like the digital edition of the PS5, just because it hasn't got that like weird one, like the weird lumpy bit to it.
Like the lumpy bit.
But then when I look at the PS5, I just look at it and like, it looks like you're pregnant. You know, I'm just like, I kind of like that. Kind of like seeing that baby bump. But then I'm worried though when I see the weird, like the weird, like literally the PS5 looks like, you know, Star-Lord's dad, like his spaceship. Yeah. It looks like his ship. Like if you lay that thing aside, it just feels like it's gonna be all wibbly woo.
Could you imagine if like, because like apparently that Star Wars like Starfighter Squadron game is like gonna be shown or whatnot recently? Could you imagine if they made like a Starship like port for the console, so you could like, they would give you a star, like they give you an X-Wing figure and you just put it onto the console and it would just like be stuck on it like in a really cool position.
Oh, like, do you mean like kind of like those amiibos?
No, like it's like I'm just imagining the console itself being like this like port for like the Starfighter to like sit on.
Oh right, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the X-Wing Starfighter.
That would actually be pretty sick. I would actually really like that. That'd be so cool.
and then the X-Wing just crashes into the console and breaks. You're like, no!
You have like a wee amiibo, but your actual console looks like a landing pad. You put the amiibo in, and then once your ship explodes, your actual toy just shatters everywhere. You're like, fucker!
and then like a little man runs out and fire like.
But he runs out like, you know those like people in the old like horror movies where they go like, ah, like there's that one pose, but then just the slow waddle and then just the flop.
Like, dun dun dun.
And you're just like, marshmallow. I'll probably get curious and start trying to chew on them.
I just thought of the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
And then Way looks up to you like, "Ah!" like super angry.
That's the steak puff Marshmallow Man.
That's a tasty marshmallow man.
If I was a Ghostbuster and then I saw that there thing, I'd jump into it.
Oh, I'd start like biting the shit out of that guy's knees.
Like, I'd jump into it, and then but maybe imagine right if you jumped into it. Yeah, you jump into it, and then like the marshmallow from the inside starts grabbing like your body and like sucking you into it, and you're like, nah!
I can just imagine though, like you go on the outside, like you jump on its belly, but you just imagine like a Ghostbuster gnawing his way through, and you see him literally burrow into the inside of the same Marshmallow Man. So he's this tiny guy kicking his little tiny legs as he's going like, rah, rah, rah. And he gets in, but you just see his head inside that hole he chewed out. He's like, ah, ha, ha.
This is gonna be like in Scooby-Doo 2, I think it was, the live action one, where they eat the candy.
Oh yeah, the candy. Yeah,
that
yeah.
Poor creature.
It's like, what are you made of? It's a candy floss, and they both look at each other like, But I just imagine though, like if a Ghostbuster like jumped down into it, and they're like, no, and like he just goes through the marshmallow, but the marshmallow is just like the thickness of a cloud, so he just goes like through the entire thing and just splats into the ground. Like,
some guy actually thinks like, oh, that was another ghost. It's probably tastes like jam, and he's like, that's very metally. It's like, that's the iron. It's a dead man. He's like, psh, can't fool me. It's Halloween. Man, this tastes weird. What type of jam is this? Just an eye looking at him, like a squished head. He's like, what prop is this? You can't scare me.
I'm trying to like think more things about the PS5 that like I wanted, but I can't really think right now. I think I've just.
Have they even said anything about their online stuff yet?
No, they haven't mentioned anything about the online yet, which I should. I'm sure,
like this.
I'm sure they'll mention it whenever the console gets out. Like, because the console, it seems like the console's going to be coming out around Christmas time, because the Spider-Man Miles Morales thing said 2020 holidays, and that game's themed around Christmas time because it's snowing. So I assume that game's going to come out around Christmas, maybe early January. Probably the same with the console, maybe.
I just hope that the online, like, this is my dream. I know it probably will not have whatsoever, but just free online, like the PS3 days. Just no subscription, because then they kind of win on the console wars. Because, like, the reason they're like, when it comes to Xbox, there's multiple ways you can go about it. You can get like a few days of Xbox Live Gold, a few months of Xbox Live Gold, a year of Xbox Live Gold. With the Switch, it's literally just pennies. Like, it's not even a full £20 for a full year, which is fantastic. And
well, isn't it like $19.99? So it's technically 20.
No, it's like it's $17.99, I think.
Is it actually?
It's $17 or $12.99. It's like very cheap.
Dang, Nintendo. And
then you have Microsoft. That's literally just like last time I went to go put in online.
60 quid a fuck off.
Yeah, 60 out. But then I remember I got like these codes. I got like Danny, my friend Danny. He actually gave me a code for 3 months when I didn't have PlayStation Plus, and it didn't work for me. But so I told him it didn't work, so he could actually take the money back and all that. But then got the code and I put it in, and I was like, oh sweet, it works. But then once I put it in, it said, okay, now give us your fucking like credit card numbers, like details. And I was like, I just got a prepaid code. I'm not going to give you my details. And it just felt stupid. It's like, yeah, but if you want to talk to your friends and have a society, you're going to give me that card, and you're going to just do it. But then, like,
I just found him having like really tiny like baby hands. Like, give me
put it in these chubby little fingers. But like, with the PS4, it literally is just PayPal or nothing.
Aye.
And I don't mind it now because I'm used to it, but it's just like the PS5 was just such a fucking gem when you didn't have to have online.
When I first went to the PS4, it was quite a shock for me to have to pay subscriptions.
No, it's like when I went to the PS4, it was a shock because it was so easy to use and I had everything in the palm of my hands. But then they wanted my money.
Oh, the thing I completely forgot that I wanted to say too about the PS5 that I really, really want for it is backwards compatibility with PS2 and PS3 and PS4, obviously.
Like all the way
even PS1.
I
PS1
want from PS1 to PS4. Well, obviously PS1 to PS5 because they have the whole spectrum.
PS1, and I want the digital freaking release of Resident Evil 1 for the PS1 because that game's a goddamn gem.
But here's another thing, PlayStation. All right. You cannot sit there and say that you are limitless and you have no limits if you can't even play a normal disc from the PS1 or PS2 genre or PS3 genre. Alright? You can't say that because the Xbox can do it.
I could see Sony doing this thing because Sony like to do this a lot. They'd just be like, to get the backwards compatibility, you need to put this extension on, which costs £50.
Now you need
USB
to subscribe to PlayStation Now.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably what it might be. You know, they're like, okay,
Power
now you
hungry
have to actually
fuckers.
subscribe to it.
You got good tech, but you're so power and like money hungry.
Yeah, they love money.
I mean,
I'm very selfish.
I can't say that Xbox is any different. They're most likely the exact same. The only ones I know is like when it comes to the Switch. Holy Christ! It is the cheapest thing. It was the cheapest to buy. The online's cheap. The actual game, like the console, always does a mass sale. Like it's like Steam on that thing. And the thing is,
I wouldn't go as far as comparing it to Steam, but you're right.
Well, it's like the Steam of consoles, but like
yeah, okay, sure.
It provides so many good indie games. Like there's like they're not even huge major titles. They're just like literally, oh, someone made this game, and you know it's just a one-off thing. Just if you want to give it a try, it's like 1p or 99p. Like it's so minimum. Like I literally save more money on the Switch than I have on fucking.
Talking about all this makes me realize how great PCs actually are.
Oh yeah, because
like,
a PC, like with the PC, it's a one-off price of the actual laptop, and then you have to pay for your Wi-Fi, and then you just pay for all the games and stuff, which are always on sale.
Yeah.
And you can watch videos on it while playing a game. Like you have a huge utility with the laptop. But when it comes like
free like streaming services and everything, and they have like really good editing options. There's free recording software.
This is why I thought the PS3 was amazing, is because like we're like every person that has a console has to have, well, not everyone has it, but like a lot of people have actual internet, and then they need that internet to give them online to play online games and whatnot. But it just seems like they're not realizing that yes, I want PS Plus so I can talk to my friends and play online games. But I also need to have that same £50 to £60 to pay my actual like Virgin Media so I can keep you going. So could you please not ask for an additional £60 for just to talk to my friends, please? Like fair enough, I don't have to actually have PS Plus to talk to you guys, but it's like they're like I usually do play free to play games which are free online, but it's like there's always that day that you just put on a game that like requires on like Battlefront. If I literally didn't realize I had PS Plus, like I just lost it and I just went, I'm gonna put on Battlefront, I can't play it. It's strictly PS Plus. So it's just like it defeats the whole purpose.
There's another thing I love about the Switch, which is it just destroys all the other things before it. It's where if you buy games, you get like the wee gold points, and you use it to go on discounts.
Yes,
it's so good.
It's a really good system, yeah.
Like you literally are given an award for just making a purchase to take money off your next purchase. It is the perfect system.
I think it's fun. I think it's funny too because it's like a genius idea for like them. So then because people will probably buy more games that way as well.
Yeah.
It's like you feel rewarded for buying a game, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy another one and another one. Nintendo's like, good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nintendo's laugh. Like that's the thing with whatever. If like when I always think, right, why does Sony not do that? Why does Xbox not do that? When it comes to like the whole system, they're probably thinking, oh, because we're gonna lose money rather than earn it. And I'm like, right, there's Nintendo. Yes, they're the dinosaurs of game, and they've been here way longer than you guys. But seriously, if they can do it, if they're ballsy enough to do it, you should give it a shot. Like, I would love to go on to, like, say we're playing Apex and we got, like, a few crates, or we went into, like, whatever game that has a loot box system. You bought some boxes, you got given a wee penalty reward for your purchase where you get, like, say, £3 if you pay £50 for £50 of boxes, you get £3 added to your wallet. That's fine by me. I mean, that'll stack up down the years. I mean, say Overwatch, we always get like Halloween boxes or Christmas boxes or anniversary boxes. That's £50 3 times a year, and then that's like £9 in my account. Down the way, it's going to get more and more in my wallet, and then there'll be a sale, and then I can treat myself to a wee thing on sale. It can just be something as simple as that, just a nice little treat. Even though that, you know, the Switch is far more like generous with their money. Like, if I went for an indie game, they'd be like, alright, you're getting 350 buckaroos, kiddo. And I'm like, ooh-hoo!
By the way, we're not saying this like in like factual senses. We're just saying this in the way of how we feel about the consoles.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case people are like, actually, Nintendo are horrible people, and you...
So was Disney at one point, but hey, we got past that, didn't we?
Didn't we?
Didn't we?
No.
Alex, is there anything else you want to say about the PS5? You've been quite chill.
Yeah, I've just been letting you two just chat away. But
Step
I feel
on the
like,
stage.
don't put that on me.
It's like he's about to put a crown on your
I mean,
head.
technically you kind of are, because like we're just putting this on the internet and everybody can hear you. So.
What I love now is... Could you just stop that?
Okay.
But what I love now, because the way the PS4, it's going to be like insanely powerful with just about everything it does. But while it's making me like, right, so what, some of my favourite games, like if there's like a Devil May Cry 6, a Xenoverse 3 or whatever, like now they can just go completely mad with what they can do, like the quality of... well, just about everything, like how much they can put into it, the graphics, just whatever. I mean, I'm not really like a graphics guy, but I wouldn't mind seeing some really pretty looking laser beams coming out of my Xenoverse 3 character's hands, but that's really just, I'm really just looking forward to what kind of crazy stuff can be done on it. And also the backwards compatibility, if that's going to be a proper thing.
Yeah, I hope that's a proper thing, because I have so many PS2 games back here that I would love to play on my like other consoles with better controllers. Controllers that at least I'm more used to.
Anything else really that we could talk about? I think besides,
it came to the third podcast for us to not have anything to talk about anymore.
Well, like,
I mean, we would have been able to talk more about like other consoles, but it's just the fact that we literally, because if we did start this whole podcast literally just straight off the bat with Sony, like the PS5, we would have had 17 minutes.
Yeah,
we started
probably,
running out of shit to say at 17 minutes when it came to the games.
I wasn't even looking at the minute marker right now. I don't even know where we're on right now. Oh, we're like an hour.
Yeah. But with the like, we would have been talking a lot about Microsoft's new console, the Xbox Series X, as well. But it's like it's not been really fully announced yet, so you don't really have much solid stuff to talk about.
And I feel like you would be the one who would be mostly talking about it, because I'm not experienced with the Xbox at all.
Yeah, I'll just have
minus
you guys
that one
tight. Like, you know, they're a bit in the. I think is the game Visage, where like it was whenever Chris and all from Only Plays when they played it, and then he was all, Tomar, is this your girlfriend and all that? And it's just them going like tied to the chair. I just imagine that being you and Alex as I'm like fucking just going, no, you listen about the Xbox.
Yeah, I'm pooped. I don't know what else to talk about.
Yeah, I'm brain farting. Power down.
Shall we just call it?
I think it's the safest thing to do, because there's...
Shall we just end it now? Unless, Alex, you seem like you had something to say there.
I fucking just hung up.
like, so I hear the Discord. But, I don't know, because the one thing I will say I'm a bit worried about, like, obviously I'm going to try to get the disc one, because why would I get the digital one?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, obviously the digital one's going to be cheaper, obviously, but like the tiniest bit.
£20.
But because not the way like we have like it comes with a controller, camera, or something. The thing I'm worried about is like the camera. I have a feeling it's going to be sold separately. Maybe I don't know. Because if you do, you're obviously not going to get 2 controllers. But if it does come with the charger, the 1 controller, the camera, what else was there? The headset, and obviously the PS5 itself. That's fantastic. But I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. There's going to be something going on.
Yeah, it's going to be like some sort of thing. See, I think they're just going to do like the console on its own with 1 controller, which is like the regular price for like a big console at the time, and then they're going to have the digital one, and then it's going to be like then this thing where it's like, okay, here's the console, the controller, all these other assets you can have with it, which is like the headset, the controller, the remote controller, the other stuff you said. And then that's gonna cost like freaking like £600-ish.
Oh, yeah. What if we do like a PS5 accessories pack?
Oh god.
No. Like if I like the one edition that I would love. Obviously, I keep going on about the fucking Spider-Man one, but it's
here we go.
they did talk about the way with Last of Us, the way they have their console, like their edition is the PS4 with the controller and a headset. All on the same theme. I'd like that there for a Miles Morales edition. I think that would be pretty fitting,
cool.
like especially with a headset. But that's what I would like.
I'd like Miles' head on my headset.
Everyone say I'm doing my best.
For me, I don't really buy the different versions. Like, it's like a Resident Evil 8 edition because I don't think I can have the patience to wait that long for.
Yeah, no, me either. Because like
I'm
if they
already
were,
like tackling my patience. This is
like because like I'd be more excited just to play the game rather than having to look at this pretty console and be like, ooh, wow. Because when I bought the Super Smash Bros. Edition of the Switch, like I like it, but like I'm more interested in the games I'm playing rather than the console where it look. Like I will always appreciate the way it looks and the thought and the
original
style of the console. Yeah, but like I'm always just like, as long as the console's good, as long as it plays well, I just want it to play games and not for the visual style.
Because obviously that you got the thing, it runs in 4K. So the way like my TV is like not really that great. What if like whenever the PS5 is plugged in, it just explodes?
Your TV just goes up on blue flames. You're like, oh yeah, just jump out your window.
It'll be like that scene from Back to the Future where Marty has like the big giant amp at the beginning of it, and like the moment you turn the play button on, you just go flying back like.
Well, I just think of that scene from The Green Mile where the guy where he doesn't get the sponge to his head. Oh god. And like when they pull the lever and the blue fire comes out of his eyes and his mouth and stuff. I just imagine that being a TV just like, Alex is like, oh god, just trying to unplug everything.
I feel so bad for that.
Alex
character.
is Tom Hanks
so
and the whole thing, pinning the PS5 against the wall. What did you do? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize he needed a sponge.
I didn't realize he needed a sponge.
You asshole dickhead, hate that guy.
My uncle always mocks him. So he does.
Good. Yeah.
What up?
Well, poop. That's probably all we already have to say about like the console itself. And
there's literally not much else.
I forgot about our little thing that we were trying. Well, the concept that I was thinking about for each podcast that we do, where we do a reference at the end of like every stream.
I did it last year,
so yeah. I'll do the reference this time. I'll make it super easy this time round. Let me.
Hey, mine was easy.
Well, I didn't know what it was until you told me.
Yeah, no one's actually mentioned it in the comments. Except that person that said first comment. Alright, I watched the podcast first. I could have called you out, but I didn't. Alright?
No, you just called it the fact that you watch your own podcast?
Yeah, because I need to make sure that everything sounds good, don't I?
Well, I'm the editor, so that's what my job.
Yeah, but I have to see the final product and not tell you my opinion. I'm not working at Sony that doesn't tell you about the design. I just have it there.
Okay, so here is the reference for this week. Fool of a took! Throw yourself down at this time and rid us of your stupidity. That's it. What's it from? Answer in the comments.
When you meant easy, I did think you meant toddler difficulty.
Yeah.
Alex, you'd be surprised by the amount of people who probably wouldn't get that reference.
Right. Here's a rule, right? If you dare say first comment instead of actually telling us where that's from, okay. I will come for you in the comments, and I will confuse the shit out of you and everyone you love.
What's that from? Okay. But right. Thanks to everybody who was listening. We hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of the content that we have, you can check out our YouTube channels and our Twitch channels down below in the link in the description. We hope you had a lovely day, and
love you, Oren.
we will see you. I love you, Oren. You beautiful boy. We will see you.
Oren, I don't know these two.
We will see you guys next time on our next podcast. We'll probably have another topic to go about. We'll try and think of one before next. I don't want to say the days of these when they're made, but I mean it doesn't matter. Whatever. We'll think of a topic. That's all that matters. But yep. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. And until we meet again. See ya.